Alrighty.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew. Papa, welcome.
To the Papa Game Show talk show.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So obviously I'm in high school. I'm a rising senior now, and I wanted to ask you like something like my burning question is that like what would you say is like your most memorable just experiments or like when you think back to high school?
Experiences?
Like when you think back to high school, what's like the first thing that kind of comes to your head? Like the memory, is there a certain memory
your high
or
school
experience?
years, your high school years are your best years of your life, probably, because you don't have a lot of cares. I mean, you just have a good time. And, I had a lot of great experiences. And, I did track and football, and it was shot put and track, and discus was actually my best event. And running events, only 100 yards was my, I was short and fast.
Yeah.
But long distance I couldn't do. I was never a distance runner.
Definitely, same with me.
And anyway, those athletic events are all a lot of memories. And
Definitely.
Bill and Barbara, my sister and brother-in-law, went to the same high school, and
You did.
as did a lot of my relatives. Kind of that you'll have.
What was the name of the high school?
Riverdale.
Riverdale High School. Where was that?
That's in Fresno County.
Okay.
It's near Lemoore, where they moved the Naval Air Station to there from Moffett. It's on the Kings River, it's on the Kings River used to.
What were the school colors, out of curiosity?
Green and white.
Green and white. Oh, awesome! Just like
Yeah.
Valley. Oh, great.
And we were the Cowboys, though.
The Cowboys.
And it was settled by a lot of Portuguese people from the Azores, and they were dairy farmers. And so Danish Creamery, have you ever heard of Danish Creamery butter?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
That's
started in Riverdale.
Oh, okay.
And my mother's sister, or several of my mother's family, that was their first jobs, was wrapping butter
For
in the Danish Creamery.
The Danish
Yeah.
Creamery. Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, we just went to Riverdale this last week when we went down to my cousin Dick's memorial service,
Yeah.
funeral. And so I drove through there, and I was telling Omi all these things.
All these memories and
Yeah,
everything.
right.
Oh, awesome. Did you have the same like group of friends all through high school?
Well, yeah, sort of. I didn't have any any elementary school friends, because there were only 5 of us graduated from 8th grade.
Yeah.
In a town called Burl, which was a 3-room schoolhouse. So there was 6th, 7th, and 8th in one grade.
So was that kind of overwhelming then, like going into high school with a bunch of people? Do
Well,
you remember how many?
My
people
sister
were
had gone through it.
So-
She was a cheerleader, and Bill, your Uncle Bill, lettered in all 4 sports all 4 years.
So you had like a taste of it.
Yeah, right. And anyway, it was, but we had a lot of fun. One thing I told Omi as we went through Riverdale the other day was that I once rode a float down there.
Did you really? Oh my gosh.
As a king of
Were you king of the prom?
Oh, whatever.
Great.
No, I was the king of the, whatever.
Whatever. Oh,
The Rodeo
awesome.
Association. And, those are
That's
things
so neat.
I
Yeah,
forgot all
exactly.
about.
You remember, but,
Yeah.
but it comes back
Yeah,
to you.
yeah.
Oh, awesome.
We had, my senior year, I was student body president, and there were only 42 graduated in our class, so the school was maybe 200, something like Jordan would be, about the same size. And I was student body president. The big issue that year was when we'd have a school party, a dance, say, we'd have to rent an orchestra. It would cost $125 or something like that. For a 4-piece orchestra to play music, so that was a lot of money in those days. And so the big issue I remember was whether or not to buy LP records
or a live orchestra.
And you could get a set of Glenn Miller's
records, like an old record machine. Oh, yeah.
In the Mood and those old Glenn Miller songs.
Yeah.
Which is still great dance.
Yeah.
And anyway, I was for saving money and buying these records.
Getting the records.
I wonder how long they lasted. You know, once I left her, I didn't follow.
Maybe heck, maybe they used them for a long time.
Yeah. Anyway, it was fun.
That's fun. Did you have any girlfriends in high school?
Yeah, I had girlfriends, different ones. I mean, I was never really stuck on one particular one. I mean, you know, in the ninth grade, I tried to make out with some girl in the back of the movie theater.
Play in the field, you know.
And the first prom, I took Linnell Hollis, who her father was from the Dust Bowl, which they called Okies. They were the poor people who came to California.
Came across,
And so he had worked for my dad, and she was the same age as I was, and so we kind of grew up together. And so I remember pinning the corsage on her.
Oh yeah, for the prom.
Yeah, for the prom. So that's what you've just gone through. So
yeah,
I do remember that.
That is so neat.
And we used to when I was in high school. I don't know if they still have it, but they had it was a CSF, California Scholarship Federation, and what it was if you got 3 A's and 2 B's. I guess we had 5 subjects or something like that. But you had to have at least 3 A's and 2 B's, and I don't think PE counted.
Yeah.
And at the end of the year, they would, and everybody that had done that, they, otherwise I don't think we did, I don't remember doing anything.
Yeah.
But the school gave us a trip. And one year
really?
we'd go to LA, and one year we'd go to San Francisco.
Oh, neat.
And
Did you get on the trip?
so when I was a junior, yeah, I think when I was a junior, we went to Los Angeles, and we went to a place called Farmer's Market, I think, which was, it's not there anymore, but it was in downtown Hollywood, sort of. And we were going to go to the studios where they film all these shows. I mean, a lot of them are in Burbank now, but in those days they were in Hollywood.
That's where they filmed them?
Yeah, and so CBS and NBC had their studios there. So.
Oh.
And there was a very popular, was it like a quiz show?
Yeah, like a Jeopardy type thing.
Right. Yeah. And so we were in this farmer's market, which was had all kinds of shops in it and so on.
Yeah,
and there was one that was like a drugstore and souvenirs and stuff. And this raunchy magazine had just come out.
Oh man.
Called Playboy.
Oh, that's right when it came out.
And and I mean, somebody 16 wouldn't be allowed to look at this thing, And so.
Oh no.
So there was one or two other guys and myself, and there were always more girls on this because it seemed like the girls were better students anyway. So these girls, she was a girlfriend, sort of a friend, not real serious, but anyway, she says, "I dare you to buy that."
Oh no!
Well, there's no way a 16-year-old could buy it, and I had. The style then was to wear new Levi's and never wash them. I mean, you could have taken them off and stood them up; they'd get so dirty.
Really? That was the style.
And you'd roll up the bottoms, and make a cup.
Yeah.
And that was the style.
That was the.
Anyway, I had a fairly new pair of Levi's, and they'd never been washed, so they were a little bit too big for me. Because when you wash them, in those days they would shrink. They were pretty shrunk like they are now. Anyway, so. We took this magazine and I stuck it in my Levi's.
Oh, jeez!
And the girls walked out right behind me, and we walked out with this. Well, just as we got out the door, before I even could get it out of there, the teacher was there, and she says, "Come on, we've got to hurry. We've got to go see I Love Lucy or whatever the play was, or the filming that we were going to go watch. Our Miss Brooks was what we were going to watch anyway, so we head over there. Well,
you've got this Playboy in your pants.
Playboy in my pants. Well, there's no way to get it out of there. And then,
oh my gosh.
Then they said, "Okay, now we're going to go to a quiz show." And I still had this Playboy in my butt. So we're in line to get into this. We'd gone from CBS to NBC, and somebody came out and says, "Who likes to answer quizzes? Who's good at quizzes or something?" Or riddles, maybe it was.
Yeah, whatever.
And these girls all pointed to me.
Oh my gosh!
next thing I know, I've been chosen to be on this movie.
TV show?
Yeah, this TV show. It was a TV show.
With the Playboy in your pants.
Yeah, and I forgot all about it and all this thing, you know. And so I got backstage. There wasn't a lot of time. And
Yeah.
they said, okay, now you'll go out and see that white line. You stand with the white line and it was a girl about 22 years old, very attractive. Who was backstage with me, you know, and there's no way I could have let her see this.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, anyway, my time came. I don't remember being there very long.
Yeah.
They pushed me out, and I went out from the curtain, standing, and they asked me these
the
questions.
Spotlight.
You know, and I don't know, it was 20 years ago. It wasn't that, but it was something like that. You know,
Yeah.
was the clue, and I didn't. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Plus, I probably wasn't thinking very well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you put it in
All I
the
had was
spotlight
this-
like that, put on.
There's 5 million people
Like,
watching
looking
me,
at you,
including my mother, and
not
this
your
Playboy
mother.
magazine's gonna drop out of my Levi's. And I'm 16 years old.
I'm gonna look like an idiot with this Playboy. Oh my gosh.
And then, so then they asked, before they asked the question, they said,
Gosh, that'd
okay,
be nerve-wracking.
if you answer this, because it would get bigger, the prices
Yeah,
get bigger every
the-
week, and so if you answer this, you get a refrigerator and a freezer and a washing machine and all these
This
home
is-
appliances, see. And if you don't, you get dinner at the Brown Derby, which is the booby prize anyway. So I got dinner at the Brown Derby.
Got away without anybody seeing the Playboy.
but I got-
Did you take it home or did you keep it?
I can't remember whatever
yeah,
happened.
but
I'm
but
sure
it was,
we all looked at
at
it.
it. But you got away with it. That is
I
funny.
had to shred it before
Oh
my
my
mother
God.
found it.
That
Oh.
is great.
Yeah, Playboy was just brand
That
new.
would
and
be
it was
so
the most
scary.
risque
Yeah.
thing you could think
I
of.
learned about that in my history class about Marilyn Monroe and how she made it all famous and like the
Yeah.
first. You remember that first issue when it came out? Probably the Marilyn Monroe.
What? Yeah, I remember her being in
Yeah,
there.
it came out. Gosh, that is
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, like what do you on that topic? Like, what do you think? What do you think's the most like trouble you got in high school?
Oh,
Did you ever get in big
I
trouble
never
doing
got in any
something?
trouble. I was a perfect child.
Perfect child, huh?
When did I get in trouble? Well, one time we drank beer, and I came home, and I think I probably drank too much. And Anyway, I thought I'd come home and was really quiet and gone into bed. And about 5 o'clock the next morning, my dad woke me up and he says, you know that back 40 that needs plowed? He says, I think you should get up and... Well, he never said a word about me drinking.
Yeah.
But I had to sit on a tractor and go boom, boom, boom,
Hey,
boom,
you
across the bumpy field all
Oh
day.
my gosh! So that's your punishment.
Oh,
That's funny.
so
Did you have a car in high school? Did you?
I did not have a car.
You-
Anyway, I used my parents' car when
Yeah, just.
and I'd learned to drive at age 13 or 14, tractors and things
so-
like that. So driving
It's
was
kinda
not
like
a
second
big deal.
nature. Yeah, that's
It's
like.
not like
It wasn't as
yeah,
as
and it
much
was
as
earlier.
it is
You
today.
know, I think by the time we were 15, we got a regular license, unlimited. You know. Yeah, my dad, had an old Model A Ford that had been made into the back part is cut off and made into a pickup, and that was the first car that I drove very much when I was probably 13 or 14.
That's when you drove it.
And I went.
Pick people up and.
Well, no, I didn't really pick people up, but I drove.
Was it a long ways from your house to school? Was it like a? Did you have to?
Well,
drive?
we
Did you walk
lived
there?
3 miles from Burl, I think it was. We had a section of land, which is a square mile, and the roads went on 2 sides of it.
Okay.
And then our house was about a quarter mile in.
In from the 2 roads,
Right.
yeah, like work your
So
way
I
up
had to
the road
walk,
first.
all of us, my brother, my sister and I, all walked
You'd
up
have to
to the
walk
road.
to the road and then go. Huh.
And catch a bus. So in
Oh,
elementary
you took the
school,
bus.
we went to bus, and then in high school it was 12 miles. So
Wow.
I rode the bus twice
Rode the
a
bus
day,
for
12 miles. I mean, that was a straight route, but like after a game, we would have to take everybody home, and they wouldn't be on our bus route.
Oh,
They'd
so
be
you have
over
to go
here,
all over the
here,
place.
here. So we go all over.
So it was pretty spread out, not like it is maybe for me today when like all my friends are within like a mile radius.
Oh no,
it seems
no,
like,
no,
it was
no, no.
very
See,
spread.
so
spread
I
apart.
had, I only had one really close friend in Burl where we lived.
Yeah.
And he lived on the other side of town, and he was a class below me. But his father was also a cotton farmer, and they farmed across the road from us. And he and I would. He was a smart guy, and so we were in the CSF thing together and some other things.
So you got to go to those together.
And we used to go hunting together. He was a big hunter, and we. So
when was the first time you went hunting?
Well, hunting was on the farm every
to go get food.
Dove season and pheasant season.
That's when you'd go.
Well, people, and we have all these companies come to, or not, there were people from the cities that come out, and they were friends or relatives or something, and I'd have to guide them around, drive them around. So, I'm sure I went hunting at a young age, but I mean, it was. I really got sick and tired of it when I was in high school.
Really? So it wasn't like going
to
just like.
Well, when I was in high school, my father bought this ranch up in San Benito County, and it was about a section of about 600 acres, and there was a cabin on it. You've been up there, do you remember it?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Maybe.
Uncle Christian has some property there now. But anyway, it was our retreat, kind of like Tahoe is for you guys. And when he bought it, you had to cross the creek 10 times to get there, and you would see skunks and
all kinds of stuff.
And we used to hunt quail and shoot
along the way
along the way and up there. Yeah, and now there's a road all the way there, and we had no electricity at first, but they've since there's electricity there now. So we would.
So it's just like a little retreat house, kind of.
Right, and my dad would have
a little vacation house. So you'd go
the river dammed up.
Oh, so there's like a little lake.
So when I was your age, my buddies and I would go up there.
You go up there and
we'd go
hang out.
Yeah.
Swim and hunt and all that. Oh, that's fun.
Right. And
so it's a total Tahoe-like place, though.
Yeah, but it was close enough. It was only about an hour away, so it was close enough to go for the day.
And come back. Oh, that's nice. That's good.
And so high school years, I remember doing that quite a bit. And then I worked, and you got a job, a counselor.
Yeah. I
was in YMCA, or Try Y, I think. The YMCA has a high school group called Try Y.
Okay.
Try Y, I think it was. And it was very.
So the YMCA was still going then. For some reason I thought the YMCA was kind of new, but
no,
it would go for a while.
I think it started, I don't know when, the First World War or something like that.
Really? Okay.
And anyway, so it was a club. It was a school club, and they did a couple of things. They sponsored the. Why don't you turn that on?
Yeah, you would.